What's happening YouTube? This is Alan. In this video I'm going to show you how to turn an indoor fogger into an outdoor low-lying fog machine using an ice box that I built. There's videos all over YouTube about this. Does it work or not? I ain't gonna lie, I have mixed reviews about it. I kind of feel like it could be a lot better, but watch this video and determine for yourself whether or not you want to go through the exercise of building one. I'll show you the results in the video. I've done different tests, and maybe you're like me and you're going to go down the same road. Let me save you some trouble, or let me help you learn from some of my mistakes. So stay tuned and watch this video. Thank you. Hey YouTube, in today's video we're going to be testing my new fog machine. I bought this fog machine at Party City. It was $80. It's a 1,000-watt fogger, and I'm going to try some different things with it. I'm trying to get like low-laying fog out of it. I'm going to do that by chilling the fog with some ice in an ice box that I made, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to go ahead and do all that. Here's a picture of the fogger that I bought. Like I said, it came from Party City. It's just a cheap little fogger. I think I paid $80 for it. Not necessarily cheap, but hopefully it works. And I did make my own fog juice. That does save some money as well. Fog juice usually runs, especially like high density, low lying fog, usually runs I guess around $30. I paid $28 for this vegetable glycerin, 1 gallon, and I bought some distilled water. So when you mix these two together, I did 2 cups of distilled water to half a cup of glycerin, which is 25% glycerin. So that should give me a pretty good dense mixture, and I'm hoping that also helps to keep the fog down close to the ground. Okay, so I built this box here to chill the fog juice as it comes in. So it's going to come in here on this end up high. There's going to be a bunch of ice sitting on this netting that I zip tied to the side of the box, and as that fog cools, it's going to come down to the bottom and it's going to come out this outlet here. So in this video I'm going to do a bunch of different experiments where initially I will just run the fog machine with the 25% juice in it with no chiller, and I'm expecting it to kind of blow away or rise. There is no wind today. The trees are nice and steady. There's no wind going on. Everything's nice and calm out today, but I expect that fog to rise, and after that I'm going to run it through the chiller, and I'm hoping that it does not rise and it stays nice and low to the ground. So that's what this video is about, and we're going to see if it works. Okay. I don't know. I think the fogger's warmed up and ready to go. Looks like the light is on, so here we go. So again, my own juice, and as you can see, it's blowing away. It's rising and blowing away, and we do not want that. We want it to stay low to the ground. But we know our homemade fog juice is working at least. So now let's go ahead and run it through a chiller. I'm going to go get some ice and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I thought it would be a good idea to run it through the chiller but without the ice first, just as a comparison to see that it's going to still have the same amount of pressure. Fog's still going to come out the other end. And of course we're going to expect it to rise because it's not chilled and the fog is not dense enough to stay to the ground. So let's go ahead and turn it on. It's warmed up, and let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't have too many leaks. This is my very first time doing this, so let's see how it goes. Okay, we definitely have a lot of leaks around the edge of the box, but the fog is still coming out, so a little bit of a failure there, but that's okay. If you're doing this yourself for the first time, at least now you learned a lesson, right? But our fog is still coming out. There's plenty of it. It's being dissipated a little bit more. That's kind of cool. It's a little bit wider of a smoke stream, but we do have plenty coming out here at the bottom, so we know the box works. And maybe we need to seal this up somehow, but for right now I think we're going to put the ice on it and see what does come out the bottom stays to the ground. Okay, I have 7 pounds of ice in the box now. On Halloween, I don't know, I might need a little bit more. I might try 2 bags or so. As that ice melts, it's just going to drip through the netting and collect in the bottom. I could drill a little hole to let it out, but I don't think that it's going to be a problem. Eventually it might get to the bottom hole and, you know, drip out a little bit, but that's fine too. So anyways, that's 7 pounds of ice. We're going to see what it does. If you're curious about cost, I already mentioned that my fogger was $80. The ice box that I made, I already had zip ties and I already had the metal mesh on the inside. I bought some 2-inch PVC, you know, threaded on one end, and I guess it's 2-inch on the other end. Those were about $2.50 a piece. I bought 2 of those. I cut the holes for it using an X-Acto knife, and then I just meshed, zip tied the mesh in with zip ties. Drilled some holes on the side, covered them up with tape. You know, you can cover them up with whatever you want. My idea is that I'm going to cut those off at the end of the season and store my cleaned fogger inside of this, along with the juice and other things. So I'll be able to pack it all away nice and neat. And if you're looking for some tips on how to clean your fogger, you just run distilled vinegar through it, and it's recommended to do that after every use. If you do make your own fog juice, make sure you use distilled water. If you use tap water, it's going to have deposits and stuff inside of it, and that's going to build up inside your fogger and just clog it up, and it's not going to work after that. So let me put the lid on, and we'll see what happens with the ice in there. Still going to have the leakage. I haven't done anything about that yet. We'll put that back on there. Okay, fingers crossed that it stays to the ground. Okay, fog is actually not floating off as much. That's a good thing. You know, the stuff that's leaking around the top is floating off, but you can definitely see the other stuff is sticking here to the ground. Yeah, it's actually working. That's awesome. That's a good picture over there sticking to the ground. So I think when we seal those other leaks up on the top, you know, we'll have a little bit more. Well, it's kind of floating off now. It's at the end of the stream. I do have a timer for this as well. My neighbor loaned me. This particular model only comes with an on and off. So when the light turns on, you gotta, you know, turn it on to let the juice out, and then turn it back off when it stops. Let it warm up, and then do it again. Or you can buy a timer if you want to see what that timer looks like. I think they're about $30, which to me is expensive, you know, and trying to save money here and there. This is one of the timers. Basically, you can set it so that it goes off every so many seconds, minutes. You can still push the button if you want to make it go off anytime you want, stuff like that. Timer, manual, and power are the 3 settings on there. If you have it on timer, you set your minutes and your seconds. Okay, so that just plugs in the back of the machine with a standard cable. It's not a DMX, but I do want to see if I can convert mine, because I know there's only 3 wires in there, to a DMX, and hook it up to my light show controller that I do with the X lights. Don't know if it's possible. I've seen a few hacks where it looks like they did that, but we'll see. So that's it. Yeah, you can see here the fog is still kind of coming out, and it's sticking more to the grass. I think more ice would be good, sealing up the leaks. So I might work on that right now, and then I'll come back. I don't know how I'm going to seal it up. I'll probably just run some tape around it. We'll see how that goes. You might want to, if you're doing this yourself, maybe get one of those clear bins, you know, like a clear storage bin. It might be easier to tape up on the top if you need to. This one's probably not going to be too easy to tape up. But I'm going to give it a try, and then we'll try one more time. Bye. Okay, I had some leftover carpet foam. I just cut out a gasket for it. This is the center of the gasket here. It's about, I don't know, 2 inches all the way around. And I stuck it underneath the lid. Didn't really fit it too well, but I just, you know, I'll trim it up after this video. But you can see here that it's sticking out a little bit here. The lid still snaps on. I compressed it. The lid still snaps on. And I have not tested this yet, so let's see if that seals up some of these leaks. Here we go. The ice is melting, so I don't have a lot of ice in there. Definitely got a lot more of the gaps. Maybe I could put a little weight on it on Halloween night. But our fog is definitely sticking closer to the ground. Okay, I went and grabbed a 4x4 and stuck it under there, since the nozzle was kind of pointing in the grass. And let's see if it blows out a little bit better this time. I'm waiting for it to warm up right now. Also, just so you know, the nozzle on this end is just kind of sitting in there, and there's an air gap around it. It's not tightly sealed. Watch some videos where they say you want to have a gap in there so it can suck in some air. Take a look at my ice right now. I'll show you what that gasket looks like. My ice may be melted by now. Let's see. There's a gasket that I made. Still plan on trimming it up just a little bit. And we still have plenty of ice in there. Not exactly happy with the results, to be honest. I mean, I really wish that it was shooting out a lot further and sticking more to the ground. But you can see there's still some on the ground. I'll keep experimenting. Let's see. Okay, made some more adjustments. I pulled the nozzle further away, so now it's shooting into the box. Everything's not level still, but I also put some clamps on here. We'll see how this works for keeping the lid a little tighter shut. I would definitely say that's better airflow right there. It's shooting out further now. With the nozzle being further away, it's definitely going out a lot further now, so I'm much happier with that. So that's success. My lid is still leaking. I have more clamps. I'll probably put some more clamps around there. We'll try to find those in the garage and we'll see what happens. And this mixture ratio here on the juice is it's about 2 cups to 1 cup, I'd say. What I did was I poured out the remaining juice. It was about 1.5 cups that had the 25% ratio in it, and I added another half a cup to it, almost half a cup. So the juice ratio is different. It's a little thicker, but it is sticking to the ground still. I mean, there's definitely stuff sticking to the ground. Not exactly what I'm looking for yet, but at nighttime it might look even different. We'll see though. You might not be able to see it in the camera, but there's stuff in the grass. Still not what I'm looking for though. Let me go get some more clamps. Okay, lots more clamps. Still got a good gap here between the nozzle and the you see that there? Yeah, between the nozzle and the ice box. It's warming up immediately. Smoke coming out. The lid's sealed up pretty good now. Not getting as much coming out there, so that's positive. The wind's changing directions on me. I don't have a lot of ice in there, so I think I'm going to run to the store and buy another big bag of ice and really load it up with ice. I want to see what happens with a lot of ice in there. Yeah, it's definitely not being carried off as much. I mean, here, you saw without the ice box that was going off into the sky. With the ice box, it's sticking. It's doing a lot better. We're getting there. Okay, I ran to the store and I'm going to throw, I just thrown 2 more 7-pound bags of ice in here. So it's 14 pounds of ice. I have one more, but I think this looks like enough. I also made a little hole there. Just so the vapors can get around the ice and down, in case it's too thick. If you're not aware, I guess I could say, this is a vapor that's coming out, and if you cool it too much, it turns it back to a liquid, and that would be bad, right? So I'm gonna do this one final test, and we'll see how it is, success or failure. Let me go ahead and zip up the lid. Okay, let's see what we get. I'm gonna turn it on. Lots of ice in there now. Final test. It's definitely lifting. Sticking to the ground a little. It's kind of low. It is getting stuck in the grass. Still not quite what I want. Lid's sealed up pretty good this time. Not a lot of loss on the lid. Plenty of fog coming out. And over here it's I'm gonna try to walk through it. Disappears really quick. I wish it didn't, but and it might be hard to see in the video, but there is fog still kind of out to about like right here in the grass. The stuff that's coming out right now obviously has a lot more time to chill in there, so it's much heavier. Well, there you have it. You know, take for what it is. It worked or it didn't work. You know, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't. But at least now you know whether or not you want to do it, right? Altogether, I guess that box I have, let me think here for a second, you know, with the ice, probably about $30 in it, somewhere around there, maybe $30, $35 at most, which is a bit unfortunate, but didn't quite give me the results I wanted. But I'm still going to use it on Halloween. I think that, you know, if any chance of keeping it down lower and instead of just letting it blow off is a good thing. So I'm going to go with it and maybe make a few more adjustments. If I find anything else out that works even better, you know, maybe less glycerin in the mixture, I'll let you know. I'll update the video. Okay, thanks for joining. Okay, just one last final thought on this. Actually, I think I was being a little hard on myself. You know, when we first started doing the testing, the fog was definitely rising right away and taking off. In the last couple tests that you've seen, the fog was about 3 feet off the ground, and that's actually pretty good, right? That's low lying. You know, hopefully on Halloween and towards the end of the night, you know, it's going to be even cooler outside, and maybe we'll keep it down even lower. But even though I said I wasn't happy with the results, I think I am. The takeaways here, obviously the 4x4s underneath to keep it level. That helped, you know, to keep the fogger, the actual part that's shooting out the mister, in line with the ice box. That made a big difference. Having that 4-inch gap between the two made a big difference. So I'm shooting into that pipe from a 4-inch distance. What else? The seal on the top of the box made a big difference. You know, having the clamps on there, using the padding from leftover padding from my new carpet I had installed in the house many years ago. I had that padding up in the attic. And what else? Lots of ice. That made a big difference. And overall, I think a success. So if you're planning on doing this, you know, go straight to those tips and go from there. And I wish you all the success. And I was just thinking that if you have something else to add to this, maybe you've had better success or you've done something different to work, maybe your mixture of fog juice is different or you have a fog juice that you really like that you think would help me, then leave some comments in the comment section down below, and I'd be happy to see them. I'll comment back if I get a chance. And you know, obviously if you like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. Thank you.